Hey, welcome back. Here I am again. Just stopped the last one, so it's instant for me, but takes another day for you. You guys need to get one of them time machines. So it's kind of weird, I was almost gonna quit filming because, like in one of the earlier videos, I just didn't have much to say. I started going down this rabbit hole in my mind of what I'm going through and all that kind of stuff. So I wasn't talking much because I was doing a lot of thinking. And I shut off the camera because of that. So I ended it at like a 4-minute video or something like that. And so I was gonna go back in the back of the camper and you know get ready to lay down for the night or whatever. And then I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden I decided to turn it on and try again. Cause I never know what I'm gonna say or what I'm gonna talk about. I don't want to bore y'all either, but I'm supposed to be doing this, so I better keep trying. I said trying, not crying. Although sometimes I will cry. Um, well, thank you, Lord, for taking good care of my uncle. He had some rough surgery stuff a while back here, and it's kind of a weird thing, Like sometimes I'll tell people I got a really close relationship with God, and depending on what me and somebody are talking about and what I feel, in some cases I might just tell them, I think you're going to be all right. I try not to worry. I think things are going to be okay. But I don't say nothing for sure. But in some cases, I feel it and I know it. And I say straight out, you're going to be fine. I promise you, because I can feel that. But if I don't feel it, I don't say it, If I don't feel it and know it's true. And when my uncle went in for some surgery and stuff, pretty serious stuff, and he's up there. I don't know how old he is right now. He's probably 70 something, maybe. I don't know. It's got to be 70 something. And then my other aunt, his sister, who's the youngest of the kids of my mom's siblings. I know it was really hard for her too, because she's really had a hard time with all the deaths we've had. I've had in the last few years here, I've had over more than 10 people real close to me pass away. It's been a real rough patch, and my mom was the toughest one. But even before my mom, I had real close family members and stuff pass away, and then my mom was in the line with that, and other close family members, and some of my mom's siblings and stuff, and I had one of my best friends pass away. He was younger than me. If he was still alive, he'd be 52. I think he'd be 52. I've lost a lot of people, and stuff can hit you pretty hard, but then you kind of start, I don't know if it's getting stronger or what, but you just kind of start accepting things in life sometimes, and just kind of having a different understanding of them. So I started getting that way with different people that passed away and handling it pretty good. But I knew I was pretty close to my mom. I was a mama's boy. In a lot of ways, I was a mama's boy. I mean, I'm tough. I'm a warrior, but I have a heart of gold and a soft heart, and I can take a beating physically, but emotions can really mess me up. And I mean, I'm a lot tougher with emotions too nowadays, or through the years, of learning life more and stuff. But still, emotions and stuff like that are more of a can be more of a weakness for me or whatever, than physical stuff. I mean, I've broken bones and stuff that have almost ripping through my skin, and joked around with people like, okay, I'm gonna have to get to the hospital, because you can see this looks pretty bad, you know. But so I'm pretty tough that way. But so I don't know where I'm going with this now. I'm bouncing all over the place again. So my mom was a tough one, and my oh yeah, that's where I was at. I was talking about how when I'm talking to people in situations that they're in, or they come to me to vent to me, or worried about their troubles, or somebody might be worried about a surgery they're going to go through or something, and they'll come to me to ask me to say a prayer for them, or just because they feel something good about me, my energy, my light, whatever it is. And in a lot of cases, I'll tell people that try not to be scared. I'm pretty sure it's going to be okay. They're like, "Are you sure?" I said, "Well, I ain't 100% sure, but I think you're going to be all right. I don't think, I think everything's going to be all right. Just, wait until you're done with the doctor, but try not to be, freaking yourself out, thinking the worst. We all do that. It's kind of natural, But the thing is, I won't say for sure unless I feel it or know it. But there have been cases where I'm like, you don't have to worry. You're going to be fine, And I know that, and I know it. I just know it. I don't know how to explain it, And I've done that with numerous people that were in some very serious surgeries and stuff that didn't have, low percentages of survival or whatever, or however the percentages go for different intensities of surgeries. And some of them I just knew. I just said, you don't have to worry. God's going to take care of you. You're going to be just fine. And I knew it, and I could feel it. And I was so confident in it that I could tell that they knew that I believed it 100%, which helped them believe, which helped them feel more at ease. But the thing is, I knew it. I wouldn't have said it if I didn't really know it or feel it, And if by some fluke chance, can't even imagine it, that it would have went the other way, I would have been shocked. I mean, it would have blown my mind because I just knew it wasn't going to happen. I just knew it wasn't. And they made it through fine. Well, my uncle, I got scared for a moment, when he was going to have to go through this surgery deal this time, because he's been through quite a bit too. He's getting older, spring chicken. And because we've lost so many people, my aunt, my youngest sibling of my mom, I know it's really been hard for her with all of her siblings that have passed on. They had 8 of them, and now they're down to, just 3 of them left, I think. That's it. I hope I ain't forgetting somebody, but I don't think so. I think it's just the 3 of them left now, out of 8. And anyway, so my uncle and 2 aunts that are left, that are my mom's siblings, and the youngest one, I could tell she's already been hurting so much. I can just see it in her every time I see her. I can see she hasn't been able to, live normal with it. It still breaks her heart a lot, And then when my uncle had to do the surgery thing, which is her brother, I know she was really, really scared. And what's funny is that my uncle called me before he went into surgery, because when I heard about it or whatever, I can't even remember how I heard about it. If I look at my phone records, I might remember. But I got scared too, and maybe my uncle might have called me or something. No, I heard about it. My aunt, that's what it was. I remember now. My aunt texted me or that he's going to be doing the surgery or something. Well, I was on my way out for my free play one time, and so then I had to talk with God about it. And I don't know. God's got His reasons for everything, but I've already had so much, tough pain and hard things happen in the last few years. And then I thought about my aunt and how hard it's been for her and stuff. And if we lost my uncle, how hard it would affect the rest of the family because of the beating we've all taken. I just asked God to take good care of him, and if he could please help him through that surgery. I said, and I know he's getting old and his time might be up. I asked him it'd be nice if we could help him through the surgery and at least give him a few more years or something. So so he could have more life, because I'm sure he didn't want to go nowhere yet neither. And I knew it would be important for my aunt, because I'm hoping she can heal more to prepare to be stronger before he does go, and so I don't know. I just had a long talk with God about stuff and asked him if he could take, because God loves me, and he's never let me down, and sometimes I can almost feel all these angels around me that watch out and protect for me and stuff. I wrote a poem about it one time, and a lot of that stuff is lost. Who knows? Maybe God will bring it back to me sometime, and I'll be able to rewrite it, or maybe it'll pop up or something, or maybe, who knows? Maybe by some miracle it'll make its way back to me or something. The notebooks that I had it in and stuff. Anyway, so sometimes I can feel, and it ain't just one angel, it's lots and lots and lots of angels around me. And so I asked the Lord if he could, that was pretty dang strong, and it'd be okay if he wanted to just take a bunch of my angels and send them off to watch over my uncle and help him through that surgery, and help the doctors and surgeons and all stuff, help them move their hands, to make sure everything went right the way it's supposed to, the way it should, to keep them alive and make them heal and live longer, And I said, it'd be nice if you could give him at least a few more years, because I didn't know, it was serious enough to where I was worried about him not making it through it at first. But then once I started talking to God about it and asking God different stuff, that I asked him if he'd please do that for me, I could just feel, it was like I could feel God answering my prayer. Like he said, almost like God let me know, don't worry, I hear you. He's going to be all right, And I felt that so strong that then when I was at the casino at my free play, my uncle called me while he was getting ready to go into surgery. And I talked to him on the phone and stuff, and I told him straight out, I said, you don't have to worry, Uncle. You ain't got to worry at all. I said, you're going to be just fine. I had a good talk with God about it and stuff, and I let him know. I can't remember if I let him know about the angels, but I did with my aunt, because she called me later too. But I let him know I talked to God and stuff, and he was going to be just fine, So not to worry at all. He ain't going to be going to the surgery and not coming out of it. He's going to come out of it just fine. His life's going to be different, because he's got to have like a colostomy bag or whatever, and stuff and whatnot, But I said, you're going to be fine. I know, I had a good talk with God about it, and you're going to be all right, Now, had I not really felt that so strong, I would have said, well, I think things are going to be okay. But I didn't say I think. I said, you're going to. I knew it, And he did, and he was fine. He's still doing well. That's what made me smile when I seen him on Facebook. He clicked like on one of my photos that I posted today. And I like that. It makes me happy, because it's kind of like we're in touch with each other, He's keeping an eye on me, and just by seeing him that he clicked a like, it's like we're communicating still, even though we ain't talking on the phone. He calls me once in a while too, and we'll jibber jabber on the phone. I love hearing his voice when he calls me. Anyway, that night after he was going to go into surgery, my aunt called me, and I could tell she was trying to be strong, but I could tell she was giving everything she got to not just break down in tears on the phone with me, and saying that he was going to be going into surgery or whatever pretty quick, or was in surgery, and she was going to try to be getting down to the hospital or whatnot. And I said, I know, he just called me. I just got off the phone with him, I said we were talking before he went into surgery. And I think that might have surprised her a little, but I said, you know what, I'll tell you, I said, you don't have to worry, I promise you. And that's what I told her about my angels, and that I asked God to take a bunch of my angels, as many as he needed, to go take care of my uncle, and to help my uncle and the surgeons, whatever, however many angels it took, to keep him safe and to get him through that surgery. Now, I didn't tell my aunt that I asked for, to give him at least a few more years or whatever, but I did tell her that he was going to be fine through the surgery. And, because I don't 100% feel like he's going to get at least a few years. He might. I think he will. I think he's going to get at least a few years, which would give him at least 2 more. Or a little over 2 more or something like that. Yeah, it'd be a little over 2 more, because the surgery wasn't that long ago. But I hope so. I hope so, Lord. But thank you for getting him through the surgery. I really appreciate it. I really, really do. So I told my aunt that, and I said, yeah, you don't have to worry. I said, he's gonna be okay. I promise you. I said, I talked to God, and God is. I'm close to God. God's close to me. I don't know why I feel I'm special in a certain different way or that. I mean, not saying I'm more special than anybody else. I'm not saying that either. 'Cause there's a lot of chosen and special people out there. Because it's there's a lot going on with, whether you want to say with spiritual warfare and life on earth, all that kind of. I don't want to get too sidetracked, but yeah, I just let my aunt know not to worry. I promise he's going to be fine. I had a good talk with the Lord, and I know the Lord heard me, and He did. And thank you, Lord. Thank you so much. So here we are, quite a while later. I think He's still adjusting to the colostomy bag stuff and changing all that stuff out, because He's got to do that multiple times a day now. It's a new part of His life for the rest of His life. However long that may be. And so I'm glad, and I thank the Lord for that, and I thank Him right here in front of you for doing that for me. I appreciate that. Now, if it was my uncle's time to go at the time for that surgery, well, there's no change in that, and I believe I would have felt that when I asked the Lord that. If He wasn't going to make it, I believe I would have felt that it wasn't for sure, and I would have still held on to hope and faith, But in that case, I just felt it and knew. I knew that my prayer was heard and was going to be answered, Just like I know that now, even all the stuff I'm going through, I know there's a reason for it. And then the flesh in me, the human in me, starts feeling beat up and down with this stuff, and then I start wondering, is it ever going to change or something, or I did it, am I, sometimes it can draw you to the edge of, you start doubting yourself or whatever, and then all of a sudden something will happen to confirm it, like, nope, it's all real, it's all, you're following the right path, so that kind of stuff keeps happening. Here we go, another different video. As you can tell, I got darker because Arby's turned out all their lights because it's 11:05 right now, so they totally closed up their doors. They close at 11, I think. I think that's when they close. So that's why it got darker all of a sudden. All the Arby's lights went out, so maybe that's a sign for me to end this video. Well, I guess it is, because we're almost 18 minutes. Kind of a long one. There comes that big thumb. Bigger than my head. Give it a thumbs up if you would. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Talk to God. Like I say in some of my videos, talk to Him. Even if there ain't nothing you need, talk to Him. Just tell Him what's on your mind, or talk to Him like I'm talking to you right now, Just babble on. And tell Him Dylan says hi. Thanks for watching. God bless you. We'll see you on the next one.